Hello, this is Creations by May here. Today we're going to be doing this weird triangle injury thing on our hands or any other part of your body. So I started doing this before I started filming, but what I have here is pretty basic. I have a layer of liquid latex, some one-ply tissue on top, then liquid latex on top of that tissue, and then just keep layering that up. I think I did here maybe 5-6 layers. I wanted this to be pretty thick so I could get a lot of that texture that you see here in a minute. Really just add as many layers as you want depending on the texture or how bad you want this to look. Bad in injury way, of course. Next I'm taking a spatula, a metal spatula, and just kind of like roughing it up, kind of picking at it, not going at it too hard so it doesn't harm my skin that bad. And you really do want to wait for this to dry. You don't want it to be wet as you're doing this because it will mess it up. Here's what it looks like so far. You can't really see it, but there is a lot of texture in there, and it will show once you get done with putting on the blood and the coloring. So here I'm just adding some Graftobian scar wax. You can use any scar wax, it really doesn't matter. You could use modeling wax for this if you really don't have any good scar wax. Make sure you have petroleum jelly or some kind of oil makeup remover on your hands. I used about 3 pieces of this in total around the whole wound. Now here I am just making a kind of straight edge along the edges of the wound so it doesn't look too rounded and too fake. I did this all around and it came out actually pretty good, as you will see in a minute. After I got done cutting off those edges, I made sure that I would flatten the little specks that came up back down. Here is the end result. It looks pretty good so far. Now I'm taking some red from the Mayron Brewer's Wheel and going around the very edges of the wound, so I get a good outline and so the camera picks up the outline of the wound. I'm also putting this all over the inside, not really in the crevices of the texture, more like on top of it, because I don't want to put anything in the crevices just yet. We're going to save that for later. Now I'm just going over the very top of the texture of the wound with brown and dark reds and blacks. You don't want to add too much black so it's not just a mass of dark reddish black stuff, if that makes any sense. I also used some irregular liquid blood in the corners and again over the top of the texture, if that makes any sense. Also some scab blood in the very corners. There's really no wrong or right way to do blood. There's just whatever you feel like is most realistic. I would advise, however, not to just douse the whole thing in blood and call it good, because you want that texture to show. You don't want this wound overflowing with blood to the point where it's like dripping. I mean, unless you want to do that. You know, this is your makeup, this is totally up to you. In my opinion, I let it overflow too much, so I took a napkin and I went on the insides of the wound and then dabbed it on the outside of the wound to make it look like dried blood, as you will see here in a few moments. So yep, that is the finished product. I'm quite proud of this. I hope you guys had fun with this video, and I hope you guys create this. And if you have any creations that you want to send towards me, DM me at my Instagram, Creations by May. I hope you all have a good day, and goodbye.